Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am back with another true crime video, and today we are going to be doing the story of Bianca, Yolanda, Khuzwayo and Sizwe Ngema. Now if you're new to this channel, I try and do these videos often, so please do check out the playlist. I've done a couple already and I will be doing more in the near future. So before we dive into today's video, I have to stress that this case is still fairly new. It's still going through court processes, and therefore I need to stress that these are still just allegations because they're yet to be proven in the courts of law. And now with that said, and without wasting any more time, let's dive into today's video. Today's video takes us to a coastal city in southern South Africa, KwaZulu-Natal province, Durban. Bianca Yolanda Khuzwayo was born and bred in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, and came from a big family, staying with not just her mother and her sister, but also her extended family. She went to Holy Family College in Berea, where she attended most of her schooling. She was known to be a vibrant young lady, got along with most people, and was a girly girl. Towards the end of her schooling career, she got pregnant with her first child, a beautiful baby boy. Now, because she was a child herself when this happened, it forced her to grow up pretty quickly, but she was able to do that, and she went out of her way to be able to provide for her child. She separated from the father of the child pretty early on, and like I already said, when the baby was born, she went out of her way to be able to try and find work, different odd jobs, and also just to go out of her way to try and make sure that she is able to provide for a child. Years went on, and in 2023, when she was 22 years old, she decided that she wanted to enroll and become a police officer. And so in 2023, she enrolled at the Metro Police Training Academy. This is where she met Sizwe Ngema. At the time when they met, Sizwe was 26 years old and Yolanda was 22 years old. They met and quickly struck a friendship. Well, at least this is what Bianca told her family. This is because every time she brought Sizwe around the family, her aunt would complain that she just didn't feel easy around Sizwe. His energy was not good, and the look that he gave the aunt was, in a quote, was deadly. As a result, a lot of the family generally felt uneasy around him, and because of this, she would say that no, they're not dating, they're just friends. So for the first 3 months, she did not disclose that they were dating, and when she finally decided to disclose, very soon after, she then shared that actually this guy is also very physical with her. Her aunts as well as her cousins were very clear with her from the very onset. They were like, listen, when a guy starts hitting you, it will never stop, and as a result, it might even eventually lead to loss of life. And I think this is when she decided to not share as much anymore with most people with regards to her relationship. She started keeping most intimate details about her relationship to herself. Time went by and things really looked like they were going very well from the outside looking in. They were both Metro Police officers at the time. They were stationed at the same Metro Police station, and they were making plans to move in with one another. Even though Bianca was making plans to move in with Sizwe, she was still a very present mom to her son back at home. She was providing for her son and always showing up for him wherever it's necessary, whether it's sports, his graduation, anything that needed Bianca to be there. She was readily available to support her son. On the other hand, Sizwe was also a father with more than one baby mama, but different to Bianca, he was not present, be it financially or physically, for the kids. Months went by, and a few months into their relationship, Bianca fell pregnant. Sizwe was excited. He was ecstatic. He couldn't wait to be a father. I'm guessing he wanted to redeem himself with this pregnancy. I'm not sure, but he was very excited about this pregnancy. While on the other hand, while Bianca was also excited, but she also had some concerns. So one of her concerns was Sizwe and her had only been dating for a couple of months. 2, he wasn't providing for his other kids. 3, she was worried that she may get financially strained because at that point in time, most of her money was going towards making sure that she is able to provide for her son properly. And also lastly, the relationship, although less than a year old, hadn't been smooth sailing because it had some type tumultuous moments because Sizwe had been laying his hands on her. So Bianca had a lot to think about when it came to this pregnancy. So even with all those doubts, she willingly shared the news of the pregnancy with Sizwe, like I already mentioned, and he was just 100% happy, and he was just looking forward to this new journey. Now this made Bianca very happy and made her decision even more difficult in terms of whether she wanted to keep the baby or to terminate. So she decided to confide in her friends so that they could help her decide. Some days she would lean towards keeping the baby, especially because things would be going so well between her and Sizwe, and she would just be so excited about the pregnancy and couldn't wait to go to scans and couldn't wait for the baby to come along. On other days, she would speak to her friends and be like, guys, you guys need to borrow me money, okay, because I need to go terminate this pregnancy. And this got so frustrating for her friends. And I'll play a voice note from one of her friends, Anele. Anele sent this voice note to Bianca while they were chatting, and she expressed how she feels together with some of her friends about the whole thing.
I'm gonna be totally honest, as a friend who cares and loves you and wants what's best for you. Yabo. I'm not saying ukuthi everything I say you to take into consideration, but akekho phela omunye umuntu ongakubonisa because ithina sihlala nawe kakhulu. Yabo. You are in a predicament. Uyas contradictor, and Leon to Leo is putting a strain on us as your friends. Not that we've been discussing, but cinema views, yabo, at times, because most of the time and stuff. So when you type it says we say shoot kids and stuff. But currently you are contradicting yourself and confused, and it is scary. And ekubeni is scary kwakho, it is putting us under a lot of strain, because one day when you are happy in your relationship, you want to keep the baby. Masudiniwe in your relationship, you don't want the baby. So now we don't know how to support you, because you keep changing every day, every week, every after 2 days, you change your mind. Yeah, well, inkulumo yakhe has contradicted you on itself. If you listen mostly or you read carefully, I'm a text that we talk about or we send. One day you'll be like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. Okay. And the next day, I'm scared. Yeah, but what's going on? I honestly don't know what's going on, because you should just sit down, make a decision and stand by it, Faith. You should make a decision and stand by it and do the necessary. If I don't want to be a murderer or anything like that, let me just keep the baby and I'll deal with the consequences later. Then do that, 6 up look. Yeah, well, and then if you've decided to go, okay, you know what? I can't have this. I am going to be financially strained, getting mele, and I don't think my relationship is in a good space, whatever. I can't keep this baby. Then, so support that look, but don't keep contradicting yourself every other fucking week, dude. It's not right. Yeah, well, it's not fair. It's not fair on yourself. It's not fair on us. It's not fair in your relationship. It's not fair on God either. Yeah, well, so you need to make a decision and fast. Yeah, well, and stick by it, stand by it. Like, this is it, and I'm not jiggy. This is it. Cause manje not asazi which is which. Uyabo, when you said ukuthi you are gonna be honest with Sizwe and tell him ukuthi you have doubts about keeping the baby. Should he even ask you about some messages? That's if he read them. Then angaz chom yo, I'm not feeling this whole situation currently, because I don't know whether to be happy for you or whether to kwehlisa izinga, because I don't know what you want. I don't know what you're thinking about. I don't know if you know what's important for you. I don't even know what are you considering. Like, you're all over. You're literally all over. It's not fair on yourself. It's not fair for your mental health as well. Because manje thina sizokwenza njani, sokubuka njani ukuthi how. What is it that you actually want? Just tell me what you want for once. Tell me what you want and stick by it. I'm sure ukuthi uyabona now ukuthi time is going. Yabo, if time is going, then each decision yakho should be made long time ago. You should have made the decision long time ago. But if you're gonna be back and forth, yo, yes, confused about it. 1 minute I feel like, oh, I'm gonna be an aunt, and then I'm gonna be, oh, another minute I'm an accomplice of a murder. So now I'm this is born good. Are we accomplices or are we aunts? Yabo, and stick by that. Yabo, says good. We gonna be aunts. Manje nawe mawusuyi-contradictor yabo unginika inkinga mina shem angifuni ukuqamba angistressa.
So in this voice note, the gist of it is that the friends are urging her that she needs to make a decision regarding what she wants to do with the pregnancy, whether she wants to terminate or keep. Whatever she decides, they are going to support her. They just don't want her to flip-flop. Unfortunately, she wasn't sure, and her belly was getting bigger and bigger by the day. At this point, Sizwe and Bianca were attending scans on a regular basis, and Sizwe was pretty excited. So as time went on, she finally got the courage to speak to Sizwe about her concerns regarding the relationship and everything that was going on. She didn't really go as far as saying that she was contemplating terminating the pregnancy, but she did bring up some problems that she had. Now, this didn't go so well. As a result, they started arguing, and days after that, he started coming back home intoxicated, and also he would come back after using substances, specifically the white substance. So it just didn't go so well. So I'm about to play a voice note that Bianca had sent one of her friends, just sharing her concerns as well as a little bit about the state of her relationship. She also went as far as saying that she might need to seek assistance from family so that they can just try and intervene.
No, I haven't told my aunt. Guys, but lo asingulens ngicabanga ngumtshela everything because Sizwe ngizawusendela nje VN or explaining everything. Looks it's gonna be long as fuck. But we tried talking izolo kwaliwa and he's just been drinking because even namhlanje we were just going around in circles. Ubuye emsebenzini uphuzile. Ngithi ngiyakhuluma naye manje. Before he left, ayikho into elungayo. He's just not understanding me. Yabo. So mina I'm tired of talking. Ngcono bekhona umuntu omdala-ke ozobe uyena okhulumayo, dude, and just mediate because I think I give up.
Days and weeks went by. Bianca started showing. Her family also knew she was expecting at this point, but no one was really sure how far she was. Bianca had not stopped chatting to her friends about whether or not she wants to continue the pregnancy or terminate. Now, at this point, the couple had moved in together. They moved into a new place at Joseph Nduli Street on Esther in the Durban CBD. So on the 30th of March 2024, they decided that they wanted to host a housewarming party, and they invited a lot of their friends and family, and especially their colleagues from the Metro Police Station they were working at. And in an affidavit earlier on, Sizwe wrote that, you know what, during the party, he consumed copious amounts of alcohol, and basically he started mixing liquor and coke. Now, at the party, everyone was drinking and having a lot of fun, and in the early hours of the morning, everybody left and went home, and the couple remained behind, obviously, and they continued drinking together. So as they were drinking, they then started arguing, and the reason that they started arguing, according to Sizwe's earlier confession, is because he had then come across messages between Bianca and Anele. In those messages, the girls were going back and forth as to whether or not Bianca should terminate. So the argument escalated, and as they were arguing, according to Sizwe, Bianca then allegedly said, but like, what makes you so sure that this baby is even yours? Now, according to Sizwe, this is where he says that he lost it. He stabbed her 13 times. and he took videos of himself doing this. He then went as far as not only posting these videos on social media, they went on to trend. I'm obviously not going to post any of those videos here. It's definitely not the space, and I don't encourage you to even go looking for them because they're extremely gruesome, they're extremely heartbreaking. They're not something that you want to see, I can promise you that. But once he was done posting them on social media, he started sending those videos to her family as well as her friends. He then posted a WhatsApp status on his own phone addressing Bianca's friend Anele and said, "Why my child Anele? Bekungamele." Basically, why my child Anele? It wasn't supposed to be like this. And then he went on, he took his phone as well as Bianca's phone, he got into the car and he started driving off. You must also remember this guy is heavily intoxicated, not just with alcohol, but with substances as well. He then crashed his vehicle on the M4 freeway and immediately got out and ventured into the bushes, and this is where he called his uncle trying to get some sort of assistance. But the uncle apparently just said, "You know what, you just need to hand yourself over to the police." Not too long after that, I think he also just gave up. He handed himself over at the police station, and you could see his images at the police station. This is where he made his initial statement. Now, this was before any sort of bail application. He did not have any lawyers at this point. Before the bail application, a decision was taken for him to be taken to Fort Nater Hospital for a psychiatric evaluation in Pietermaritzburg, just to make sure that everything is well in his head so that he could not plead insanity. It was declared that he was fit to stand trial. He got a legal team after back and forth of whether or not he should be getting legal aid, considering that he was employed by the government. And after lawyering up, I think his statement changed altogether. This is when he decided to say, "You know what, I don't remember anything." This is a person who initially in his statement had shared that they had argued, and after the argument, Bianca had said this and had said that. But after lawyering up, he was like, "I have no idea what happened. I don't remember anything." And he has stood by that. His bail application has taken so long. It was postponed in April or May, and it was postponed for now in November since May. So there has not been any real sort of updates when it comes to this case. It's still going through bail application. It hasn't even started with the main trial. And with that said, we have come to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know that I do appreciate it. So I'm trying to push videos, but bear with me guys, a lot of research has to go into these videos, so allow me time to research the case thoroughly and I'll post. I'm not going to disappear. I'm here. Thank you guys. Cheers.